Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's underscore Gintu, back again to the root of today, and we are its one-on-one live coverage that we're gonna be having to this kind of the portfolio right now. If you're first time you watching this kind of the video, thank you very much for you being tuned and locked in as we're gonna be commencing and making things happen today. And here we are. It's much of the evening session. Back to the banana plantation, as we're going to be making sure that the content is going to be coming out very fantastic, because today it has been so chaotic and much of the impact is still ongoing, and I've seen much of the things and the people are mimicking and intermimicking. Mimicry and intermimic, and that's how the postcoms and the oscoms of the day has to go on with a vivid response of now. And as fact as the things gonna be getting closer and more fantastic from today, I'm gonna be reassembling this kind of the statement that has been already getting out, and the people are just taking it in a granted situation. And this is the fact about what is really making things outside there to differ and become so helter-skelter and ki-Babylon, ki-Hill-Selassie, ki-historically. And this is the beginning as we commence the first journey to make sure that everything is coming out very clearly. I've heard much of the people, and this is to clear the mess. And much of the people think about, Gintu has been moving. I told people that security is tight, and whenever I'm just onto the position here, the security should be very, very tight, and we have to bear with the circumstances how they come, because we have much of the allegations that do come in and out, talking about things gonna be having some osquams and the postquams of the alliterative way. So as we commence and make sure that I'm clearing the mess, that much of the people are already putting out and talking about ABCD, which is not the fact about how it is. So today I've spoken with one of the guys called Alex, and I was one-on-one onto the phone call, and I had a conversation that was coming very clear and very forward, because I have found that things were in a mess, because some people just commented and thrown just a comment which is not verbally and not normally written to dictate about what has to happen in a particular moment, but it was taken in a way that it was in a serious positive manner, and people started allegations, and they're talking about Gintu received $300 for Alex, and he has just eaten, and I don't know which kind of the eating and which kind of the transfer prototype it used, so they could just reach the segment of Gintu. And does that kind of a person knows, or does he have any receipts to commence about has this kind of the things happen this way? I've seen Pebble Soul. She has already reacted upon what I said yesterday, because she was the first person to get that kind of the comment and post it to the community, and talking about is this real, and much of the comments were coming as shame, 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 shame. I'm just I don't know. Do you know in Africa, whenever you say about a shame is you can just reiterate. You can Google it and you can just get it. What's a shame? And you can get what it means. So I thought about they're just calling me shame, shame, because if your brother marries, you are the wife or your brother, we call you shame, shame. Eh? So whenever somebody is talking about shame, shame, I talk about, I saw this kind of the guy called I'm Caro talking about, shame. I thought about, are you calling me shame? Am I the brother to your husband? I was just not getting the point correctly. And maybe he was talking about the Kiswahili, not the English word. And that is the factor what's coming out clearly to this kind of the platform. And I saw much of the things coming from Pebbles Halls. Wagwan, protect the village girls. Woo! Protect the village grandpas and protect the village vulnerables. And that is how I ever knew her when she played that kind of the song. And I never knew who she was and which kind of the reaction she was ever talking about. And I saw her in that kind of the first time. And I talked about, who is this kind of person? And I talked about, okay, we have to groove together, but not much of the time. I've seen she has already dropped much of the video talking about, me, I posted this kind of the stuff, and I talked about today I want to be like D. I don't know if she can be. Can you shake your nyash, Pebble Souls? Yeah, turn round. I want to see you turning round. So as I can see, I only see yeah, that's what I always see. So I want to see you turning around and 360, so you can just reflect to be deep. And I wanted to know more about what's really happening, to the enclosed system. As she was talking about, she posted this kind of a comment, and she never meant about a bad intention, and she doesn't have any grudge with me. I don't have any grudge with such kind of person, and the fact has to come out clearly. They're talking about Gintu has changed, and they need to have this kind of the way they're talking about, oh, Gintu should continue in this kind of people do shift. Whenever the shifts come, people do change. Look at even right now. Akenge himself, he doesn't travel right now. He's just making the content locally, and if it's Argentina, locally, and that's not a travel. And right now, he's not a travel commando anymore. And that's the fact. People do change. And when I started the YouTube platform, I started the YouTube platform as I said about I was a fish farmer. And even my description was writing, young boy, just growing up in the village, in a humble family, this and this, blah, 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 and he's a fish farmer. Exactly. And when we developed, I came out of the fish farming and I got into the chicken farming. I got from the chicken farming, I got to agriculture. Agriculture, much of the times are coming. Things are coming ever coming, because you a real man can never stay in or can never be depending on bread only. You have to change the meal sometimes. So paper source sometimes never talk about Gintu has changed. It's the content that is changing, and it's because of how the things are going, because you can see and act and judge at the same time, and how the things are always coming. You know, the time that things changed and people talked about, oh, this and this and this. I said it once that nobody will ever spare Gintu whenever it comes to this kind of the scenario. And the fact is, whenever it somebody just commented a stupid text and a stupid comment that's thrown there, Helter Skelter, Babylon kills last year, and talked about, oh, okay, let me now leave it here. It just pinpointed in every kind of talk about the reactors. And now they came out to take a section of it and just repost in the community. What was the urge of it? And whom were you talking about now? You want to post it in the community. Now to show who. It's something which is a symphony to you, and it has to come out clearly. So sometimes just turn around and check yourself in a mirror and talk about, yeah, you want to be like D, no problem. And this is the fact. And now this is the valid point. Because today I wanted to have the NBI on the process. And I had to talk to this kind of a guy called Alex. And I asked Alex much of the questions, asking about, hey, Alex, can you tell me, this guy, do you know this guy whom is talking about sent money to Gintu so as that I can give it to you? Alex said that I has never found such kind of a person. He doesn't know such kind of a person. He has never been called such kind of a person. He doesn't know even where that money was meant for. And if the owner of the money doesn't know such kind of a thing, now who is bearing to have the concession and talk about Gintu is the one aligned for it? And if I was the one to be sent that kind of the money, and I promised that I'm going to be going to Alex, why couldn't I inform Alex that I'm going to be coming? And because I promised this kind of the person, I never have empty promises. And that's the fact. And what is now trending outside here, I've ever been telling people, all the reactors are upon money. There's no one is outside here to go and just put their own boobs out and talk about, you know what? Oh, I have to come here. Oh, it's very cold. Oh, I'm very sick, guys. Oh, and come out with the content and talk about it's not for money. Everybody is looking for money. And that's the fantastic moment. Everyone is just sitting, whatever is a person to sit down and talk about now by buttocks are now becoming a frame. You are posting everything. That's a framework. You are talking about, you have placed it onto the chair. It's the one that is now becoming the impact of the insult. And when you're coming out to talk about, oh, this and that and this, that is an impact of making sure that you are gaining money as the buttocks are wearing out. And if I'm the one standing like the way I'm standing, I'm the one my legs are wearing out to make sure that the money is getting in. Nobody is making the platform of the reaction or whatever. Everybody who is onto the YouTube platform is looking for the money. And there's no one can ever come and talk about, oh, Gintu is angry of money, yet you are the one posting that Gintu is angry of money. Are you stupid too? So I'm just sympathizing with such kind of the scenarios. And they cannot come easily as the way people just take them as a granted situation. That is the real fact. And also, this kind of a scenario that a person can just go to the comment section and talk about, oh, Gintu, I sent you this kind of the money. Why couldn't you inform the owner or the effect or the subject where the money could just be channeled to, and talk about, hey, I'm called this and this, and I've never received such kind of a person talking about it. And if they have the valid report, they should come out. Even Pebbles Hoshi knows that Gintu has a description wall there and there's a number. Why couldn't you call and talk about, oh, Gintu, there's this kind of a post. Have you seen it? It's just posting there, and much of the people, even I saw Mugesi is now reacting upon it and talking about the truth about the $300. And that is the fact, because they want to make sure that now they are amusing other people and talking about, oh, Gintu should not be now, just we should discriminate and get him out. The thing that people was talking about is not bothered. Nobody's bothered too. And whenever he's talking about this, the postcrums, the oscrums, the alliterations, the vivid response, the hallucinations of the time, everything has to come out effectively. And that is the whole of it. Pebbles whole, the whole of it. That's how it should be. And have the etiquette of putting it. And much of the people are coming out to chew and talk about it. I don't know. I don't understand which kind of the chewing is that one. And they have to. Because I said once upon a time, not everybody who is supporting Pebble Souls will ever support Gintu. That's a fact. And not everybody who is supporting Gintu will ever support Pebble Souls. That's a fact. Everybody has his own audience. There are people who trust Pebble Souls and talk about Gintu can never talk anything about her. And that is the fact. There's a person who can talk about, even if we see this kind of a person is conjugating live. And we have seen even the cucumber is here. We can never leave the guy. And there are people who can talk about that's the fact. Because when I came out once upon a talk about if these things we cannot put them outside here, we're gonna be eating us one-on-one. And I placed and I told people we have a game played somewhere. That's why I came out with a vivid response talking about Pass was having something to hide with us. And it was not a fine moment, as I'm just a friend of you, then you hide everything from me and talk about now we have to go forward for what? And that is the fact that it can never drive people to go in. And the real fact is also one. Some of the people talk about, oh, Gintu was in the Three Amigos. And who brought the Amigos and who had to bring it and who has to break it? And some people are talking about, oh, you know what is coming out clearly in a vivid response is one. People knew that Gintu should be there for these boys, and every time I should be there reconciling with them, reputing with them, and synopsizing with them, and doing all the recaps with them. Sometimes you have a change. Right now, there's one who will remove from the segment, another one will come in. The same way I got out of Maro Fish Pond, there's another one, if it's Gunmo, who took over the game. Talked about the fish pond has to continue, but continue in a different mode in his own brain capacity of work. That's the fact. But coming out to tell about, oh, Gintu changed, is now changed since he just got out of the Three Amigos. I'm the one who brought the Three Amigos. I was the one who to break it, because I saw if you are just posting the same content, you want now Gintu to get a strike, you want Mugesi to get a strike, and everybody to get a strike, so as people can come and talk about, we ever told you. Sometimes you have to think responsible, because if we are posting the same thing, we cannot do other things. If I talk about let's have a section, and whenever it reaches to one of the point, talk about I'm tired a little bit, and now it was my session for me to have that kind of a video to come out. So sometimes we have to shift, and that's how the shifts could come. And this is the effect that will do much of the people to groove and move also, and to reconcile and talk about I have to man up, and I have to make sure that I'm now depending. How can I get myself energetic enough to make it happen? It's not a must that Gintu will be there, A, B, C, D, every time. People just, even if we were in Three Amigos, and I tell people this as a fact, there are people who ever liked Mugesi than Gintu. There are people who liked Gintu than Mugesi. There are the people who never ever wanted Gintu in Mugesi's channel. That's the fact. And there are people who never liked Mugesi in Gintu's channels. That's the fact, how the life is. and we know. But we come together to talk about our brotherlyhood. And that's the fact. That's what you ever saw. Whenever things comes out with, we can call about an irresonant reaction, I always talk about, guys, we can fix the error. We ever fixed the errors together. But coming out to talk about this is how it was moving, and we have to clear this kind of the lunatic messes which are just coming out as we are grown-ups, and we have to make it happen. We are not now behaving like girlfriends here, because there's no one who is liking, who is needing some cucumberization here. So that's the fact, because if we already talk about now, we have to talk about, this is what the Pebbles Horse talked about, this is what MCAO talking about, this is what JT talking about. We'll be like girlfriends now. Everyone's talking about, hey baby, can I fix the error? Can I rectify the rectification of your antagonification of the error? And things has to come out clearly. So the fact is, one, we should behave normally and manning up. That's the real fact and a call. Weboke. Weboke. Guys, we are having a little bit of a mistake here. We. Punguza kelele bwana. Yeah, we have some miscellaneous effect here, exactly. The fact comes out clearly. And the real fact that always comes out, I've seen much of the people have to react upon it, and the people have to go forward and talk about it how it is. And I always talked about once upon a time I was told, and I always follow what I had, and I saw it, that it could be so clear to the effective time that we have to come out clearly. Because once upon a time I had more talking about again to make sure that whenever I'm not available, who will be helping you to have that content and it goes. So sometimes try yourself, try your best and make it come. And that's the effect that I ever do. And much of the people think about when we are always together, that who told you that I don't talk to Mugesi? Mugesi is always talking to me, and we always talk and we cherish. The only thing is we have not come together, because he told me that Gintu tomorrow morning let's have a meeting at the fish pond. Now he had to post about Gintu the 300 and this and that and then this, and he never came, and I knew that there's something which is cooking somewhere, and I don't have something to do with that one. And when today I had invited and I had a call with this guy called Alex, and I was talking about, hey Alex, man, because I've seen much of from your comments, they were talking about you and Percy. What has been allegations of you and Percy? They were having some miscellaneous effect, and to the real effect is there was raining feces somewhere, because they know each other. Because when Alex was talking about I have lended her with the money and she never paid it back as the arrears, and I don't know if arrears or the owing of them, I don't know if it's the debt, I don't understand which kind of the way of service they did it, and I cannot understand it. So they were talking about much of the things about you have to pay me my money, you have to pay me my money. So the much of the effect was Percy and Alex. So they could be the ones who could people be spotting and talking about, can we resolve this kind of an issue? Because Masubo one ever tried to reconcile it, and things were helter-skelter, and that's why the time now came out clearly. So they had to fix the error, and I had to talk to Alex today, and I was to ask about what is really happening, what has happened between you and whom, and Percy. I was talking about the debts of money, and even there's a Mzungu who sent the money to Alex, and that's the mess that much of the people are doing. Why can't you send the money direct to the intended person? Because this kind of the shenanigans. Let me tell you this kind of a story. There's a time that even we have much of the YouTubers who were always having some shenanigans here and there, and they were in a Kenya fraternity. Once the money was sent, that this money, during that time, it was Gitiriba, it was Nasto, it was Gake, it was Royal Kim. The money was rotating, and Village Cook, the money was rotating east and west and south and center. And much of the people could just take the money of somebody and talk about, you know what, I've been given the directive that I have to shoot with your video so as I can just lend this money to you. It's something which is crooked. and it can never come outside in a positive way. And some of them who could just not talk about it and silence themselves. And that is the fact about much of the people are that way. And I cannot be in such kind of a way because I respect whatever it was not meant for Gintu, it will not be for Gintu. Whatever was meant for somebody, it's for that person, whether you like it or not. Even if you eat the money, tomorrow you'll have to pay it. That is the orderly way. Better you pay it even if you had much of the things to do with it. And sometimes that's why some of the people don't control themselves. They don't understand that even if the money you never had, now it comes once, pam, pam, Gintu, you have got a message of this kind of the money confirmed to your M-Pesa. And now you start talking about, oh, you know, I had this kind of a problem, I had this kind of the problem. Now you want to go and fix with people's money's problems. So in terms of that one, you will pay it even if the time will tell about it. And that is the real fact. And the good thing is everybody should bear with how the things are going. And every kind of the person, it's because of some miscellaneous challenges of East, West, and South. And that's the fact that not every time we should have this kind of the concession talking about Gintu should be good in hand or hand in hand with this kind of a person. Sometimes the shifts are always. And there's some of the characters that a person is coming from somewhere and I'm coming from here. We shall not be in same gauge, because you don't know what I'm taking. I don't know what you are eating. I don't know what you are sniffing. I don't know what you are uptaking in that kind of the specific time. So for us to come and join and bound together, it will be a historic. And this is because of the views also. And for the views, everybody is looking for the money. And that is the effect that some of the people doesn't want to be told that whenever you are a reactor, you are looking for the money. That is the fact. Let no one cheat about, oh, you know, I'm not looking for the money. Even me, I have side hustles. But YouTube also is part of the hustle to get money. That's the fact. And some people don't want to be told that, oh, you know, your YouTube is people depend on YouTube only. And they're making it also. Yes, we have it. And that's why we should not talk about, okay, Marwa is depending on YouTube only. We should follow his own strategy. You will fail. I will not follow a person talking about, oh, this kind of a person is following this kind of this. And it has become that that everybody is looking for donations in Nyaboanse. Much of the things are lies. And even this kind of the people who are just talking about their reactors, they're the ones who are acting perpendicularly and looking for the money, like the hungry tigers of Nyaboanse they are talking about. That's the fact. Because you cannot tell me that this kind of the people, whenever M. Carol came to visit Gintu from, I don't know, Western Kenya, I don't know, Busia, came to Nyaboanse with their own vehicle to come and bring only sanitary pads. Do you think Gintu was a fool, or people are just fools that there's nothing that remained there for that kind of a business to run? When the other lady talked about, oh, Gintu, I have to subject, I was sent this and then this money so that I can buy this and then this to you. Nobody can ever come out clean to tell you that, you know what, this is the money that was sent, this and this and this, so this kind of the things came. Look at on trending, he sent me much of the panties here. And who knows how much was sent? I don't ask. I don't bear with that one, because I know people have to eat and people should eat upon it. And that is the fact. But people don't want to be told that they are eating. They want to act like, oh, even the Mzungu should understand. People in Africa, whatever you are doing, and this is a history, and I want to tell people direct. You eat where you are working. Thank you. Can somebody now get me? So even this kind of the people are talking about, you know, Nyaboanse is a whole of scammers, and they are already talking about donations. Are you the one donating? And when a person talks about, I want to donate for this, is that person forced? Imagine to send money from USA, Canada, California, Texas, I don't know from where, China, Japan, Brazil, Jamaica, come to Kenya. Is that person forced to do it? That person is willing to do it. And when the money now flows, some people talk about the donations is doing this and this and this. And people are begging for it. Some of the people are given the mandates talking about, I want to see Gintu successful. That's the meaning of it. And I want to see on trending successful, whatever be the circumstances. I want to see JT successful. That's the best. I want to see Pebbles Horn successful. That's the point. They want to see Gintu successful. They want to see Muges successful. Every person, look at even Masubawan, successful. Whatever you are doing, there's a person who will never leave you. And when I tell people this way, they talk about, oh, Gintu, you are lying. We have seen it already. And that is the fact. Because if you're talking about the fact to come out clean, we should be clean, all of us, and talk about this is the fact and this is what is driving. And whenever you are sitting down, getting the information, going through every Buddhist channel and analyzing and very, very punctually analyzing it and talking about, you know, guys, I've seen this kind of a video, you relate with the other video. You relate with this one, you relate with this one. And you are looking for the money. That's a hustle. And don't come out to say about, oh, this kind of the people, they are hungry for the views. What are you hungry for? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So if others are hungry for the views, yet you are pinpointing the same person about is hungry for the views, what are you looking for at the same time? So sometimes we have to come out and talk about this is the real fact about what we have to grow forward. So the accusations that were coming to Gintu about the 300 USD, it's approximately 38,000 Kenya shillings. And this kind of the money, I never received any kind of the money because that money in Africa, it's a lot of money. That's a fact. Even right now, it's a dry season. And I can tell you, we have not been told when was that money sent. Last year, 2023, 2024. Which month? January, February, March, April. Nobody knows. Which date? Nobody knows. Just a text was thrown like a stone to hit anybody. Talk about this stone was meant for Gintu. Let us throw it. And whoever it will hit and whenever it will not hit Gintu, let us throw it. They have to throw it and talk about now. We want to find out the people comes. And the people, you know, much of the people, whenever they have a small doubt upon you, it's becoming so crackatooed that they will have to talk about, oh, is this real? Is this the fact? Not the facts, not the fact you can just analyze. Is this the fact? Or is this the way I am seeing it happening? So people will just be talking about, oh, is this the real thing that I'm seeing here? Is Gintu already involved in this one? So sometimes people want to create it. That they're talking about, why can't a person come out and talk about, that's why you always see that this kind of a person has a bad intention to you. Like, I saw the comment whenever the Pebbles Horse put the comment, posted the comment into the community. That is the first time is posting that comment into the community had an intention, number one. And from there, we have another scenario whereby the reactors who reacted upon talking about this is shameful, this is what, they had an intention talking about now we have got it. Now we got it. Now we got it. That's the fact. It's there. And if you start looking at it keenly, because I once said this and I told to M. Caro whenever she attacked me talking about why did I come out to expose Percy because she is a lady and talking about who is she? So why couldn't they talk about this is the fact? Now we expose the Mwango, we don't expose these other people because of what? The fact has to come out clean. I always come out to talk about let you not attack Gintu for the small things that we can just handle them with the accuracy way and always throw each other in a way that you know that this kind of a throw we throw this kind of a guy to whatever you know it was not meant for it. And the real fact which is coming out clean is that let's focus on what has to come out clearly. Because much of the people who are always coming out are talking about, oh, Gintu was ever in this kind of a manner. Right now he has changed. That's the effect. Because even the biology says chest broaden whenever you are in adolescence. If the chest was broadened, and I'm not talking about I'm in adolescence. Some people will just quote it. Oh, now it's adolescence time. No. I'm just elaborating to the people so they can just get it. That's why we are ever thrown into the broaden of the chest. I'll talk about the broaden of hips. They are talking about the pubic hair. They are talking about the sound or vibration of the sound. That's the fact. Sometimes we have the change. And whenever the change comes to change, we have to go with the change, how it comes to change with us. And if the effect of coming out clean, it's to attack and talk about we have to reinforce this kind of a person because of maybe the 2-3 grudges or the unconditional grudges. Sometimes we have to buffer with this kind of the things. And I was hearing some people talking about people are coming from Gintu section. You know, sometimes you might post some things thinking about you want to have this kind of a thing trending, but you don't know that this kind of a thing gonna be bringing you some of the harms. That's the effect of the YouTube. And sometimes it's a lunatic and a hypocrite of how the things do move, because some people now are talking about we are becoming beggars, and whoever saw that we are becoming beggars, who is that who saw that people are becoming beggars, and where was he, and how was he knowing that this kind of the people are becoming beggars? Because if you know the strategy of begging and you are talking about you're not begging, I'm sympathizing with such kind of the reaction. So the effect that has to come out clean is let all of us, I know that we can never join, and it has now separated. Now we have the reactors now having a separation. And now it's like, now we are having Mayugono and the wife this way. So the reactors are already doing this way. We are having now reactors like 4 to 5 groups. And that's the fact. Some people talk about Gintu is always having himself alone because of the character. Guys, I always come out to tell you that I check on the character that I can follow. Not that, oh, because Gintu has the 3 amigos, but the character doesn't reflect with the Gintu. Now you want to throw Gintu into a pogrom. Now I have to follow what this kind of the people are doing so they can just do with them and become so it's something that it cannot add up and man it up. Because I always see the strategy and the category of how we move together. And the real fact is this kind of the reaction, sometimes it has an impact. If you decide to come to the impactation of the reaction, you should vamoose yourself and have a heart beating. Never fall out. You have to, somebody hits you, fall down, wake up. Let's go forward. That's the reaction. And everybody will ever react to each other. That's the fact about it. And when we come out synthetically to handle this kind of the pogrom which is going around everywhere, because we have some incitement. Some people can talk about now, Mugesi, you know what? I don't want to see you with Gintu because Gintu is challenging you. How am I challenging a person? Because when I talk about we have to get a video and I go to my premises, you come and we have a video there. Who is challenging who? And sometimes people don't understand. Even looking for a content, it's a hard thing. Yes, it's the same as the people are sitting, watching the videos and reacting upon the videos. And looking for the past events and bring them to the recent events. And it's the same as the people, you know, there are people who are reacting and the people are looking for the content on themselves. So if they're going to be looking for the content, and I'm telling this kind of the people, they know it. Everybody has his own class of, and the standard class of him to engage in getting the reaction. We have the people who have to use the machines to get the reaction. That the people can use foot and eyes to get the reaction. And everything has to come out clear. So every kind of a person is a reactor. There are people who are affected and the people who are disaffected upon it. So sometimes we have to come out clean, and this is the real story. So some of the people I saw onto the comment section talking about, Gintu, why are you in this kind of a way? You are changing in terms of the attitude. Some of the people, I see how they are reacting upon it and how they are reacting upon you. So if we have to get forward, we have to go forward. If we have to embrace, this is the forward manner. Let's go with the forward manner, because as far as every day we are coming out clean. Some of the people talk about, oh, Gintu, why have you stopped giving out the greens? Guys, right now it's so hectic. It's a dry season. I cannot go back to the fish pond there to produce the greens, because last time I produced and I used a lot of money to produce the greens, people rounded it up with the chemical. And I cannot risk again going back to that position to have, even if there is water from the fish ponds, it will be so hectic again. Now I've decided to have a fish pond here at my home where I can wake up and talk about, let's have this kind of the greens having water. Let's have this moment. And whenever I have the greens, I always offer. Right now, it's a sunny season. It has affected everybody. Right now, I was having water that I could use in terms of the irrigation system, but I was building to. So sometimes we have things coming out. When Gintu will ever come out and talk about we have to start the irrigation, people will wonder again, and they will just check. Now the vulnerables are going to be fed. And sometimes, guys, sometimes even, right now, whoever knew that USAID and this kind of the NGOs that produced much of the things to brought much of the help to Kenya will be ever seized once upon a time. So that is the effect that is always blowing outside here, because whenever even people sometimes are talking about, oh, Gintu, you have ever done this kind of the job, supporting this kind of the people vulnerable in the community, and it has been becoming that way. So sometimes even you yourself, help yourself too. So some people talk about Gintu will ever be there talking about, hey, and whenever you do that one, there are more who will ever be coming and talking about, do you know, guys, whenever I'm standing and I'm just waking up in the morning at my home, there's so many people who always get onto the gate, and I don't chase anyone. I talk about what do you need, a job, or what do you need? And I always advertise to the village that I want, if you come to my home looking for the job, I'll offer you a job. But looking for the money and the people are working, it will not be fair, because some people are working and you come and talk about, hey bro, I have this and that, and the people who have more problems than you, and they're just working so they can just get it. So that is the effect sometimes I'm offering. And even right now, the maize that I harvested, much of them, they are going to the school fees of some of the orphans here. And I have an orphan at my home whom I'm taking care of. And some people talk about, I'm just 26 and I have brothers, I have young siblings who can just go back to school, and some gonna be going to the university. So sometimes I pump myself, I talk about, if I help this one, even God knows, I help children to get uniform. I've helped. I helped this kind of the people to get the commercial fertilizer. I've helped. Which kind of a help does other people talk about? Gintu has changed it in terms of the attitude. It's because of how I see the things are going. Because you cannot tell me that, Gintu, now you have money, you have to go to this kind of the club, change of the ladies. Cucumberization is there. And whenever you have at the G Council like that one there, you will cucumberize until things are going to be very fantastic. You're going to be talking about American style. Yeah. Talking about cucumberization style. Yeah. Wheelbarrow style. Yeah. And everything going to be coming out clean, and the people will just talk about, oh, Gintu, that's the best moment now, and we are waiting for it. And things that comes as fast, talk about, oh, we have to do it fast. It's not more important. Whatever comes at the end, whenever you are just sitting, relaxing, and enjoying your life, and getting this kind of the things happening, that's the best moment we can just talk about. And the real effect is much of the people right now, they're talking about how Gintu, you have been helping this kind of the people all the time, like for more than 6 months. And why can't you even you yourself do it? Even God says, even you, don't be fooled about it. Do it, even you. And people just talk about all the blessings you have just got. And people are just talking about, oh, Gintu, I've made people happy outside there. Some of them I don't recall. But they're always, whenever my mom sometimes comes at home, she always tells me that, oh, Gintu, I got one of the woman there. She told me that, oh, be blessed, and you helped her one day, and you never recognize it that you helped, but you helped so much. Sometimes I don't recall them. I always offer the services whenever. And that's the difference between me and them. And I always talk about money will never be enough. That is what Maro himself told Gintu. And I've ever got this kind of the gut. And I'll ever tell the people, money will never be enough. Because even where I was working, I was ever admiring this kind of a boss, how he was having money. Just the story building were coming like a safari rally. And I was talking about, oh, he has brought a Range Rover. Oh, he has brought this kind of a product TX. Oh, a station of a moment, a truck is already... Guys, I was talking about why the people getting money. But once upon a time, I asked this kind of the boss and asked about, how are you making money? Why can't you even give me a challenge? And he told me that money is never enough. It's you to save it. That is the fact. And that is how people are making it. And there's a time we were never paid for 3 months a salary. And we were just asking about, oh, why is he having some of the tenders? They are going, the cars are running, he is moving from one place to another. Why can't he even pay us the money for 3 months? He ever came and told us that, better you people. Do you know that I'm just fixed? Even the money is not enough onto my account to win some of the tenders. And that's the time we talked about money is never enough. The more the step you're going, the more you need the money in that step. So that is the effect. For the people who want to attack again, to talk about again to have changed in terms of attitude, I'm very sorry, and I'm sorry if I've changed an attitude to you, and maybe I've changed in terms of the mooding I have, or I've changed in terms of how I'm reacting. Because if you talk about you have to laugh every time with this, oh, because he's my friend, oh, we have come from far, oh, even me and Maro, we came from far. But at the end, and there's so many people who came from far that people have spent more than 20 years, but at the end they come to break in a very stupid reason. That's the fact. So sometimes let's not buffer this kind of the things, and let's put everything in a way that we have to rechannel and make it happen. So everything that is coming out, it's coming to the portfolio. Yeah man, yeah man, yeah man, yeah man. Hello beautiful people, wherever you're coming from, thank you very much for you being tuned. It's underscore again to back again to the root of today, and everything is so fantastic as we commence and have this kind of the tallying process going on once and for all, because I have much of the messages here coming in like a safari rally. Exactly. We are ending up this kind of the video, guys. Thank you very much for you being tuned and coming out very fantastic for you supporting Gintu and making it happen. Yeah, man. And this is the best moment we're going to be going and getting it to the intact of the moment. Exactly. Gintu A, Gintu B, Gintu C, Gintu D, Gintu A, Gintu B, Gintu C, Gintu D. Yeah, man. And I really respect for everyone who's being tuned, and we are now changing a little bit, and things gonna be changing, because whenever a little bit a step is made, that's why Oliver talked about, oh, why whenever Argentina Longnose joined Kenge, Kenge changed the attitude. That's why even Gintu never started building, the attitude changed a little bit to make sure that now I can associate with the people who can add up. That's what even sometimes we are being told with our parents, that whenever you are growing, look at where the person you are growing to achieve, and that's kind of the person, be at that position. Work with those kind of the people also. And when I see that, okay, I'm trying my best to make this kind of the impact, oh, outcome this, but I cannot show. And that's why I always see I'm supporting much of the young boys, young ladies, so they can just come out and be so decent. And I cannot have any jealous with anyone talking about, oh, you are lacking this, you want some knowledge about this kind of a thing, and I know this kind of a thing has a defect. I can never hesitate to tell you that this kind of a thing, it's not adding up. This kind of a thing, it's not how we have to go forward. No. Let's change it. And that's how I'm always acting, and I'm telling to this kind of the young generation to go with. Because the YouTube, sometimes it might not work more effective to you. And that's why some of the people are just having some of the bad language and they don't want to say Gintu. And most of the people wanted to say Gintu constructing with Mogesi constructing at the same time. That's why they never saw it happening. And right now they talk about, oh, Mogesi is now struggling to make it happen. Why couldn't Gintu be there? I'm always talking about I'm free. I don't have any kind of jealousy with anyone. Whoever thinks about it can come and get some little bit of the knowledge. You can accommodate, you can be acquired, and you can just come and you can talk about it and you can just fix the errors. That's the real effect about it. But coming out to a way that some of the people talk about, oh, Gintu, because you are building, why couldn't you embrace your friends to have this kind of sometimes you can never know what is this kind of a person thinking about. You don't know the history of a person. You don't know when Mogesi was coming out of school, I had already done what? I was hustling as a hustler, and I was making it outside here to have this kind of the impactment. And for the struggles that everybody is passing through, you can see how the things are moving, and that is the real effect. Once upon a time, I was ever sleeping hungry at my home. Once upon a time, we never had food at our home here. Once upon a time, it was chaotic. I was even the villagers here. I could just go to get this kind of the leaves, this one. And I was even jailed for just cutting this one here. And those kind of the people, they had my own debt that they took some fish from me. They never paid me. And they talked about, you know, we have, the cows have to feed. And I was going back to school. I had to cut very quickly and go back to school. I went and cut this kind of the leaves. And I was taken to the police custody. And I was a student that time. So I could just bear with the circumstance. My mom came to cry and talk about, no, just take him out because he's just a student. And why are you making this kind of the things? You are ruining the life of this guy. And I was talking about one day, one time, it will come. And the day it has, and it will come once upon a time. And talk about even me. I'll plant them this kind of the bananas, and we will never go to help. And we'll never, ever ask anyone that I want to cut. I will just talk about I'm waking up and I cut it. But I have the beard, the fruits here. So that's how everybody has his own struggles of making it happen. Because if I ever slept hungry once upon a time, I can just associate myself that tomorrow I will never sleep hungry. And into Jesus' name, I always pray and I just take it to the living God. And I praise to the living God. Tomorrow is another day. And I promise much of the people, tomorrow is another day. And everybody should get it that way. You can never define somebody from the past. Ever. The people ever defining me from the past. That's why you talk about Gintu has changed the attitude, because I know where we came from and we have to move forward. Thank you very much. Amen. For the people listening, kudos to you. Respect every time. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.